firefighters are ladies, and they can come off the 10th floor, carrying somebody on the back, only using a rope. They're really good at what they do. And so, Chair, if the committee would be happy to come and see, it would be something good to benchmark to see what we do on Kangundo Road. Counseling, the trained specialized personnel was one, but we have many who have already been trained prior in terms of counseling. Post-disaster recovery needs a lot of therapy. And we do work closely with the Red Cross because they have more volunteers that can come. I've just explained the multiplicity of disaster, especially fire, in one day. And so that's why sometimes you see the public reacting angrily, stoning fire engine, because when a fire happens in your area, you only know that fire. You don't know there have been another 5 in other parts of the city. And so the truck comes and they have to go get water. They have to be accompanied. Each fire engine is accompanied by an ambulance or 2. And they're also accompanied by a water bowser, which were very many from Nairobi County Government and also from Nairobi Water. And the DMOs, we trained 57.
If you can give us the numbers in terms of preparedness, like firefighting machines,
it is here.
Water bowsers.
Yeah, we have it in this response here. Page 7.
Okay, proceed.
So I'll come to that. Emergency response infrastructure, Chair, we have 7 operating fire stations. Tomboya Street, which is the oldest. It was built in the early 1900s, and it still serves as the headquarters because of the historical nature and the centrality of Tomboya. Enterprise Road, we have fire station and staff of quarters there, isn't it? Ruaraka, which we built also in collaboration with the private sector, with the East African breweries. Gigiri Fire Station in Runda area. We have Wedaka, that serves the west part of the city in Dagoretti South. Kangundo Road, where we also have our training center. But I've been able to give this department, is it 20 acres? Yes. I've given them 20 acres in Ruai to set up the Center of Excellence. And that will do much of what is happening in Kangundo Road. Then there's Mukuru, affordable housing. And what we've told the State Department is that for every large-scale affordable housing, they must build a fire station. Of course, among other things, hospital, school, and they're doing it. I'm very happy. So they're really helping us to spread out our footprint. Gikomba fire station is 80% complete. We actually just missed the cutoff of the financial year, but we completed. But this one is an example I'd like to give you of why engaging the public is very important. Chair, the people of Gikomba have suffered fire incidences for a long time, for many reasons. Initially, there used to be 3 categories. One was, of course, the electricity and accidental. 2, many years ago, there were unscrupulous traders who, because of insurance, when you see your stock is running out in your insurance, you cause a fire. And that insurance fraud has been brought to a very, to a standstill. 3 was, of course, your people cooking overnight. That is Gideri or whatnot, and they fall asleep at the street urchins, the street boys. That has also gone down. But the worst has been about land speculation. This is Gikomba and Toi. People who claim a stake on the land. And because of that, I remember, even when I was in Senate, I said we must produce one title deed for Gikomba because it is public land. Because you want to ban the place and keep expanding your boundaries. I'm very happy we've made tremendous progress with the National Land Commission. We've done the survey. SG that time he was the CC land. We've put the beacons. We're at the final stage of getting that reservation for Gikomba, which is by far the biggest market. But the example I wanted to give is, despite having suffered that, Chair, when we started building the fire station, because it took a bit more than half an acre, the same traders went to court to stop us. Because they were saying they have no space to trade. We're pushing them out. And asked them, you guys, you're the one, we're building it for you. You're the ones who've been asking for it. Fortunately, we won that case. And unfortunately, in the last incident, they realized why it's important to have that station right there, near them, and why it's important to modernize that market so that it's not just an open air market, and that work is going on. The simulation exercises, and of course we need more. You know, if we had resources, we would definitely build more stations. As a minimum, we want at least one in each borough. We have 6 boroughs in Nairobi: Northern Borough, Eastern Borough, Southern Eastern Borough, Central Borough, and Western Borough, which we put together sub-counties. So ideally, first in each borough, and then we come down to smaller stations with the rapid intervention vehicles in the sub-counties. What we've undertaken in the time asked for is 58 fire safety drills in public and private institutions. We've done 10 school fire capacity safety awareness programs. We want to do more. We've done with JKIA and KAA. In fact, it was interesting. Some of the top leadership at KAA did not know it was a simulation. And so they were calling me, you know, panicking. I told them, my friend, don't you know we're doing a drill? And we were able to do that. And now we work with them with stations because they specialize in that.
So
Yes.
So the entire city of Nairobi has only 7 fire engines. That's all.
We've not gone into that answer.
You can see in page 7, adequacy of protective gear and equipment. You say you have 7 fire engines.
Chair, do I jump?
Page 7.
I'm not
You've just left. You haven't read that?
No, I'm on page 3.
Okay.
It is on page 3 actually.
The simulation exercises and emergency drills, we've done 58 or go. I think I've read that. The county linkages with the national government, which you asked, the NDOC, which is the National Disaster Operations Center, oversees emergency response and disaster management activities at the national level, complements the county whenever called upon, and we really want to thank them because they're always available whenever we need backup. And so is KDF, the police service are always with us, and the NYS, even before any cooperation framework. Multi-stakeholder partnership, we have what we call multi-sectoral contingency planning that convenes now our water and sewerage departments and Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company, which we own, public health, environment, urban planning, economic planning, communication, roads, and climate change departments, together with the Kenya Meteorological Department. And that created the National Floods Technical Committee, focus on early warning and early action planning. We've done flood mapping with the GIS based on various patterns. We know where the hotspots are, and we've committed resources, and the work is ongoing as we speak, Chair. Community and private sector engagement, the sector runs community outreach through first aid training, public awareness, I think I mentioned that. Partnerships and coordination we've mentioned, as well as civil society partners, including Samuel Hall, with the BT and the Red Cross. Inventory and risk mapping, we conduct an inventory of fire engines, ambulances, rescue boats, shelters, as well as citywide risk assessments, flood-prone area mapping using technology, building audits, and community alert system. Section 29 of the bill provides for community emergency response teams, we call them SAPs, that are established by the authority to train, coordinate, and promote household. Even before the legislation goes through, we're already working in that framework. It's always easier for a neighbor to quickly respond. Our response time is 8 minutes, Chair. That is the SLA that we have, 8 minutes response time maximum. The problem is the multiplicity sometimes of different fire disasters at the same time. But from any part of the city, if you call 1508 or 2222189, 181, 181, 183, you'll immediately get, we have a call center that then dispatches, and while you dispatch, we also alert the police, and we alert the different agencies that this is going on in this part of the city, Chair.
It's in operation?
Yes, you can call it now. You can try. Normally when my people tell me that, I just pick my phone and I call, because they can tell you it's in operation and it's not there. But it is. I have tested it severally. And
I hope the public is aware.
What's the number?
Just repeat.
Yes.
I'm sure the public is watching.
Yes.
Yeah, Chair, it's 2222 181 2 and 3 at the end.
181 or 182 or 183.
Okay.
The short code number is 1508. Yeah, that one is
That's good.
Yeah.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Okay.
They have to work 24 hours.
Mhm.
Let's test it. Sure.
Which number is that one? The double two.
Double two. So it goes to an automatic machine.
The dispatch.
One for here. Two for phone That's what I've got.
Just give him the right number.
I can direct.
You know when
I
there's
do
emergency,
zero.
that the system
I
is
do
also
zero.
frustrating.
20, then 222,
That is the number.
222, 181.
Good morning. Is this the emergency operations center? We're testing that it is working. Call 1508. This is Governor. We're just testing.
Okay.
Asante.
So which is the correct number?
1508.
The other one is not working. So we say the one working is 0.
15?
No, 1508.
Just direct me. I start with 0.
No.
1508.
1508.
That is the EOC.
Just dial.
1508 direct, yeah?
Now that is beyond my maybe chair you can dial.
It's going through. Just hold it.
How come your 0 to 0 Which one?
Yeah,
Sorry, let's wait.
I think this is working. Who is this, please? Morning. What's your name, please? This is emergency call center, Nairobi. It's okay. We are just trying to test the number. Okay. Is this Senate committee? Okay, Asante. So I think this is easier. Maybe you can put up this
What we
one.
should get Kenyans is 150.
1508. It will be easier.
Yeah, so what we are working on with the communication authority is a 3-digit number. You know, before we used to have 999. And if you just call 999, the dispatch sends whether it is a police emergency, because a common citizen shouldn't have to remember 4 numbers for emergency. That if it's a water, if it's a flood call, this one, if it's security, but one call center that then routes, and you pick it up and say, what is your emergency? There is a fire. They route you to the fire people. What is the emergency? It's a medical one. They route you to the EOC for medical. So that is what we are working on. Otherwise, you have to cram so many numbers.
So where is it based? The center, the call center?
It's based at Lady North on State House Road.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that is where we have the EOC.
Mhm.
Then we have a specific one for fire alone at the fire station on Tomboya. So the EOC routes to, this 1508, routes to whatever it is. If you need an ambulance, only it's a medical thing, they will find you on GPS. They will see where you are, and they can see on their system the nearest ambulance to you. And so that nearest ambulance, if you're, for instance, if it's Kibera, and there's an ambulance along Bongo, that is the one that will be sent to where you are, because we can see on GPS the location of all of these emergency vehicles here.
I think maybe you need to have a whole center, like what we have seen in Vancouver.
Yes.
Now that you are the governor of Nairobi,
Yes.
you should actually establish that center where everything is operated from there.
Yeah.
And if you have forgotten, I'm sure you can make a trip to Vancouver. It's not expensive comparing saving
Yeah.
life.
I actually sent my team there. We went there when I was in Senate.
Mm.
But when I became governor, I actually sent a team there
Mhm.
to actually see what we saw together with you.
Mhm.
Of course, the constraint, Chair, has always been resources.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for partners. Because it's not cheap to set that up. It's a bit expensive. But ideally, we'd want to have that. We'd want to have more engines, more stations, and we're working towards that, Chair. But as it is now, we're using
I
our...
think Nairobi is the national center.
Yeah.
You can ask even national government to chip in because it's important. You will save a lot of lives and a lot of emergencies, disasters are happening. Pray that you are going to come back for your second term,
Inshallah.
and I'm sure you'll be able to establish that.
Yes.
It's really very important.
It is. It is
Yeah,
important, Chair.
it's important. Okay, proceed.
So the number is working, and we want to make it simpler. Chair, on community level preparedness, I think I've answered that on the CERTs. Now, utilization of resources allocated. The financial resources allocated, Chair, are utilized to support disaster preparedness, emergency response, capacity building, acquisition and maintenance of firefighting equipment, operational logistics, infrastructure development, public awareness programs, specialized training of emergency responders. The key expenditure areas include procurement and maintenance of firefighting vehicles and equipment, and I'm very happy that we just signed a few weeks ago a leasing agreement where we're getting about 20 ambulances and fire engines, because each fire engine must come with an ambulance. Of course, there's one of the tenderers, or what do you call them, bidders, who went to the tribunal. He lost the case. He has now gone to court, but it will be concluded by the 30th, Chair. And that will give us specialized equipment, form tenders, etc. Purchase of firefighting appliances, protective gear. Chair, when I became governor, there was no protective gear at all. The county had never bought PPEs for firefighters. The PPEs are not cheap. What you see them wearing, it looks like it's just padded clothes, but it's specialized. How much is one? $500,000, Chair, for one, what do you call it? You call it something suit. Chair, imagine one standard protective gear for a firefighter fully kitted is $500,000. And so there have been none, but we've been able to purchase quite a number. As of now, how many are those? 140 of those kits, starting from the helmet to the boots and everything in between. And every year we put a budgetary provision to increase it. So construction and operationalization of fire stations, training and professional development of emergency responders, community disaster awareness and emergency. Chair, in 2025-26, 10.8 million was spent on technical and specialized local international training for firefighters, urban search rescue, water rescue, and the disaster management officers. 250 million, Chair, was utilized for urban hunger, fire, floods, and related post-disaster emergency support, which ends up being the most expensive. Post-disaster emergency support, where you come after the fact for recovery. Maintenance of motor vehicles, workshop materials and other consumables. This is by the fire department, but centrally over central garage in Russell area that takes the bulk of the cost. You know, you have spare parts, the tires, servicing. So we have a fully fledged garage owned by the county. And so we wanted to reduce reliance on private garages. And I recalled, you know, most of our vehicles, apart from there where there have been debts, which we worked on payment plans, but all of them now are sorted out in-house. We have mechanics, we have engineers, we have possibly the best garage you'll find in the city, in the Nassau area. There is a number. Workshop, it's called Garage Road actually, because it was named after the garage. Purchase of firefighting equipment, we've done what, 3 million, 2.9. Foam compound, which is the best way to extinguish a fire, 2.2. Equipping fire stations, 26 million. Construction of Gikomba Fire Station, the second certificate was 18 million. And now we just want one more payment. I think it's just finishing the cabro and all that is left. And we'll have that new fire station just down by Ikomba. The human resource capacity, the sector has 406.
Just a minute, Governor.
Yeah.
The 313 is the budget allocated
Yes.
for 25-26.
Yes.
What percentage of your budget? Because the law allows 2%.
What percent was this? Must be lower. Let me just calculate quickly. 313, 28.
Is that what you have allocated or what you have used?
This is the last
Financial
financial year.
Yeah.
This is actual utilization.
Mm-hmm.
The allocation was bigger. I can get the number. The budget was what, like 39 billion. Yeah, so this is.
And also, Chief, what was the total budget for construction of the Komba fire station?
61 million.
What?
Around 60 million.
60 million.
Yeah. That is like a standard fire station, because you have the parking bays, you have quarters for people to sleep.
No, I'm asking because I want to just compare
Okay.
with what my county is spending to construct a fire station. That's what I'm asking you.
Okay.
Not for any other reason.
Yeah.
So you have utilized 313 out of the budget allocated.
Yes. In the last financial year.
Now, did you submit your financial report to OAG? Because that is the area we have a lot of challenges
Yes.
with all the counties.
Yeah, we did the audited, the audit all our departments, including this one. In fact, in the audit queries, was anything touching on disaster management. There was no query on it, if I'm to remember right, because I was at Public Accounts Committee. And
I think there were only 2 counties that submitted their report. That was Katana, which county?
But which report is it?
Just your budget.
Or to
The
your
purpose,
committee?
yes, to OAG.
No, OAG, you see, when you do an entry meeting of audit, we have all the sectors. You have roads, you have water, you have disaster as well. So it is not done separately on its own. The Auditor General audits all departments, including fire and disaster.
That's okay, but according to our investigation as a committee,
Yeah.
the specific areas we have a lot of challenges is on procurement.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you need to look into that in future. Basically, most of the counties are not following the procurement procedures as far as disaster management equipment are concerned. Then patches of the equipment. There are a lot of challenges also. Maybe you need to look into that.
Yeah, that is why we moved to leasing.
Yeah.
Because I'll give an example. One fire engine, fully equipped, comes to how much? Around 80-something million. One.
For patches.
Yeah. But currently, I'm getting 10. As part of a wider leasing, where I'm getting 600 different vehicles, tippers, machinery, etc., for 600 million annually. So if you compare 600 million, if it was just to buy the 10 fire engines, I'd have surpassed it, and I've not gotten vehicles for any other department. But now I'm getting for all departments, including revenue, ambulances, around 20 ambulances, and 10 for disaster, enforcement vehicles, environment, tippers, mobility, refuse compactors at 600 million. Yet it would have been surpassed by just 10 fire engines at 80 times 10, So I think counties need to make those lease versus buy analysis and see what is the best value for money. Because what the people want is the service provided. So you rather pay for the service. And in fact now it is even cheaper for me, because once these fire engines come, the maintenance cost is on the...
How much do you pay for a lease per month? Or are you doing per month or per year?
It's
A year.
Yeah, it's for, so,
So I think maybe you need to look at both,
yeah.
leasing and also buying.
We've
And
done a
whether
lease
we
versus
are
buy.
getting value for money.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And
Yeah.
again, the service provided by the same equipment.
Yeah.
So if you do the two together,
Yeah.
then it will be better.
Leasing is better. I would encourage all counties to lease. You don't need to own. You know, I keep saying, if you want to have breakfast and you want a sausage, you don't need to buy a pig to have a sausage. Just buy the sausage. Because why do you want to own the equipment and then spend money in maintenance and in, you know, it becomes a whole, yet you can just lease it.
Mhm.
If it breaks down, they take it and bring you another one. You know, so it's value for money, Chair. From any other analysis, I'd be happy to
Members,
provide.
do you have anything to, any interventions on this side?
I'm just wondering how do you share your roles with the national government? Because what does the constitution say about disaster management?
Disaster management is a shared function.
I think it's actually under the national.
No, and if you look at the fourth schedule,
Fourth
Senator,
schedule should be paragraph 24.
Disaster management is really, in fact, it should be more devolved than it is right now.
Maybe we can check what fourth schedule, paragraph 24 says.
What does the act say, Moses? Is it a shared,
If you look at the fourth schedule, it's shared.
it's a shared
So
function?
how do they, that's what I'm asking, how do you, because everything now it seems like it's the county doing, and what we have been debating, Chair, that
Yes.
resources should follow functions.
Yeah.
So if everything, the way I've heard is being done by the county,
Mhm.
then really why should any money remain in the national government? But you can check what fourth schedule states.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the work,
Because if we audit what you are doing, we need to also do an audit on what national government is doing. It's a shared function, Chair. So that when
Governor, you
share-
have set a committee to look into disaster.
yes, we
Actual
actually have a
commodity.
disaster management council.
The national government is part of the team.
Yes, they have the second people on ad hoc basis
Mhm.
from NDOC. What's the name of this gentleman? Kanutsamoi.
We don't have a constitution.
Moses, just look at the
Paragraph
constitution.
24, what does it say?
Paragraph 24 says national government disaster management. That is part 1 of the fourth schedule. Part 2 of the fourth schedule on county governments.
Moses, give it.
Paragraph number 12 says fire fighting services and disaster management, meaning it's a concurrent function.
Yeah. So now that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You need to understand how you're sharing these functions, because
Yeah.
if we say national government has a function and they are doing nothing, and the major work is being done by counties,